I just realized I didn't press go live on YouTube, so here we are. Sorry about that, YouTube, for those who are going to be watching this later. We started shuffling already. Anyway, so when it comes to Gemini energy, Venus and Gemini energy is very quick, is very fast, because the message has to get delivered. The thing has to get to the thing. And that's really what you're going to have to think about when you're kind of trying to work with the energy. Don't try to... there's an energy of not slowing down there. There's an energy of, even though we're inching closer, obviously, to Taurus season, into this very powerful Jupiter and Taurus transit. For those who want my breakdown on that, I already talked about it on YouTube, so make sure you go catch up and watch that video. But it's a lot. It's definitely, it's a lot. It's a lot of feelings. It's a lot of vibes. It's a lot of spirit feeling, and especially as we're navigating a lot of the spiritual messages, working with our ancestors, working with our spirit team, you might be getting, especially once Venus gets into Gemini, you might be getting a lot of messages, like quick fire messages, like straight up things that you just need to hear, need to do, need to address quickly. Like it's a sense of urgency to the energy, and because it's Aries season, it's going to intensify that. It's going to make things like that. Like it's gonna feel like, oh my God, I have to address this. This needs a response like right now. I can't just, sit on my butt and not do anything about this. Like I need to do or say, or, like I need to make the moves that I need to make. I cannot, just be stagnant and not do anything about it. There's a sense of that urgency. Be very mindful with anxiety. Be very mindful with feeling a little bit, there might be periods of time throughout, this time where you could be feeling a little bit anxious, a little bit like all over the place, like you're not able to fully ground properly, from this transit as well. You might feel a little bit, light, feeling like, okay, I need some sort of, a break or a breath of fresh air, or I'm feeling really stuck, or I need something. I just need to feel a little grounded. If you're an earth sign or a water sign, throughout this period, you might be feeling a little bit, you can tap into the Mars and Cancer energies for sure, but there might be a little bit of a anxious energy where you're kind of feeling called and pulled and kind of dragged into certain directions, and kind of feeling like you need to do something, or there's something that you have to kind of act on. So be mindful with that energy. Also, when it comes to relationships and partnerships, there might be some issues with relationships and partnerships as well. Venus in Gemini is definitely playful, friendly, but it's also very, there could be communication issues as well that arise. Mercury will be going retrograde soon, so keep in mind that the energy, there's this kind of buildup of energy that's happening. Ultimately, this shift can be very productive. Okay, we can see a lot of productivity. We can see a lot of especially creative resolutions. If you've been feeling like, oh my God, I can't work through this energy, or I can't, I've been having like some sort of like stagnant, like I feel like I'm frozen. I feel like I can't shake this. I feel like I can't, like whatever it is. If you've been feeling like very stuck, or frustrated out of being stuck, or feeling like, you needed a little bit of breath of fresh air, you could feel that, definitely that shift for the Venus and Gemini energies as we're navigating it. But be mindful of just some almost Mercury retrograde-ish type stuff going on. There might be relationship revelations, truths that come out, things that, you know, get revealed that are not so pleasant, as well, especially when it comes to interpersonal like relationships with more than just one person. There could be issues going on with that as well. When it comes to wanting like a deeper commitment with a partner or anything of the sort, if you're wanting, if that's what you're wanting, you actively also need to set intention for it. Don't half-ass that, especially when it comes to moving in that direction. If your decision is, okay, I think this is what I want to do, that's great. Wait, okay, close. I don't know. TikTok was just being weird just now. But just be mindful of how you are taking in the energy, why you like feel called to say certain things. If you feel like you need to, also please make sure you're going to therapy. This is one of those times where you're going to want to make sure that you're actively getting to express what's been going on in your head. You might feel like you have an overload of energy or an overload of a lot of stuff going on up here, and you might just need to just talk. You might just really need to just say your piece. You might just need to release just verbally, and you know, be open or vulnerable or like just genuine, or just like you just might need that moment in order, you know, to have that shift. And to kind of cleanse the energies. When it comes to like Gemini energy, it's not just one thing. It's a combination of things. And since Gemini is a very go with the flow, mutable energy sign, it's not just about being in your head or like, it's how you communicate, the things that need to be said, the messages that need to be delivered, but also what you need. Keep in mind that Venus is a planet of love, pleasure, and money. Okay, so there's that energy of wanting to enjoy yourself through Gemini energy, but Gemini energy can also feel all over the place. It can also feel, you know, it can feel heavy. It can feel like 1 second you're okay, and then the next second something shifted, right? And so you have to kind of allow yourself to breathe between those waves, those energetic waves, because it can feel like a lot. It can feel like, you know, you're taking it a lot. It can feel like you're not okay at some points. But it's important now to just kind of calibrate mentally, tap back into your creativity and the things where you wanted to focus on, where you wanted to succeed, where you wanted to, especially creatively, express yourself. That's absolute. That's definitely one of the things that is super, super important right now. Tapping into your abilities, tapping into, also, this is a great time for spiritual development. And because Gemini energy is very fluid, very quick, it is the fastest moving air sign. It's something that if you wanted to tap into your spiritual gifts more often, you can like actively shift and open very, 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 very quickly. So when it comes to the cards, we're starting off. Okay, I have to show everyone over here. So we have the 8 of Wands. Okay, so there's a reason why I titled this live New Shifts within the collective, right? New shifts, because it's gonna feel like it's a very quick shift. For those who are gonna ask, this is the Alchemara Tarot. Okay, so for those who are gonna ask what deck I'm using, but there's gonna be some very, very quick shifts. You're gonna feel that like already at the beginning of the week, moving into Tuesday, because that's when Venus goes into Gemini, and you're going to be feeling a little bit things moving a lot quicker. You might find that the rest of the month moves a lot quicker as well, the rest of April, until, you know, Taurus season comes and it kind of grounds itself a little bit. But there's a lot of energy moving through. There's a lot of messages coming through. There's a lot of blessings coming through as well, like unexpected blessings, unexpected breakthroughs, unexpected shifts. It might just feel like straight out of nowhere, all of a sudden, something shifts. All of a sudden, there's like the road is open. And one of the things that we've been talking about since last week was road opening work, right? We've been talking about this since like the beginning of the month, road opening work, right? This is when you're going to start seeing a lot of that, a lot of that shift moving through. You might, again, see some breakthroughs coming on, and it's definitely going to benefit when it comes to the finances. Somebody might have a breakthrough when it comes to their job, their business. There might be a push in the growth. You might see a higher amount of financial funds coming through. You might be, working on the stability of your business or your job or your career. You might be going to a different position. This is also a really great time to apply for a promotion, to apply and network. Okay, this is a great time. Venus and Gemini is amazing for networking. Like, this is the energy of networking. Like, if you're trying to work together or, work with someone and show them like, oh yeah, this is what I can bring to the table, this literally would be the week for you to start making moves in that direction and work with that energy, because there is a stabilizing energy with that. Now, where things get a little murky is when you start doubting yourself. Okay, because we have the Ashe card in reverse. So there's definitely a little bit of, if you're feeling overwhelmed, and this is when the ebbing and flowing with that Venus and Gemini energy, there's sometimes the self-doubt creeps in. Sometimes there's a little bit of fear of success or fear of getting that thing of, oh my God, you know what? I've been working so hard towards this, and if they don't give this to me, I'm going to be so mad because I put so much effort and work into it. Trust, I'm a Capricorn. I totally understand that energy, but it's one of those things that you're going to have to ground yourself in. Again, this is something that I've been saying for the past 2 years because this has been a theme for the past 2 years, but you need to ground yourself in your vision for your life. It is absolutely one of the things that you shouldn't be doing right now is doubting yourself. It is getting in your own way, is psyching yourself out mentally, and then, tripping yourself out where you don't even know what's going on. You don't even know why you're feeling the way you're feeling. Like, if you're feeling heavy, if you're having some ebb and flows where you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this, or I don't know if again, make sure that you're checking in on your mental health. Okay. Do a cleanse. When in doubt, do a baño, do a cleanse. A baño never killed anybody. It can actually be super helpful to just cleanse your energies and reset, reground. Make sure that you're taking daily showers. Okay. I know that there's people, and I'm going to explain why this is important. I know that there's people out there that like to take showers at nights before they go to sleep, which is all great and dandy. But the only thing that I would say is that if you end up having like some sort of nightmare or a bad dream and you woke up and then you didn't take a shower or cleanse your energies in any way, you're going to be feeling all types of weird for the rest of the day. So try to take a shower in the morning time when you're like in preparation for the day, when you're ready for the day, just so you're not still hung up on any type of things that are coming up in your subconscious mind, anything that's coming in through the dream world. Okay, because then it gets a little murky. Then your subconscious starts acting up. Then you're like doubting yourself. Then you're like, oh, but what did this dream mean? Oh, does it mean I'm gonna fail? Oh, does it mean I shouldn't do this? And then you're like psyching yourself out. Be mindful of that energy because it can be very self-destructive. So the best that you can do is try to prepare yourself for moving on into the day. So take a shower. This basic cleanse that you can do is just taking a shower, opening your windows, right? Open your windows, let some fresh air into the house. Any stagnant energies, especially any miscommunication, any type of like argument that happens in the house, anytime, especially with Venus moving into Gemini, when there's some sort of energy with communication that's a little bit dense, or there's some arguments or something that's like made the energy sour up a little bit, open the windows, cleanse, pop an incense. Okay, pop an incense. It's so important to just let some fresh air in the house, and also to just set a different vibe with the incense in the house, just to let things rotate, let things come out, and move into a different energy. It's important to keep the space that you're in, your home, sacred as it can be, with like people coming in, with all of the things, other people being in the home, whatever it is. It's important to make sure that the energy is fluid and not stuck. When the energy stays stuck, it continues to almost, it's kind of like mold. It kind of just continues to get black and spreads, and it just doesn't, it ends up being it's toxic. So you're going to end up just having that around, and the energy is just going to stay toxic in that way. It's going to keep spreading. It's going to keep being murky. So just make sure you're doing your due diligence to keep the energy productive, to keep it cleansed, to keep it, feeling good, and to also work on your own strength, your courage, your empowerment for this week is really important for you not to be getting in your own way, psyching yourself out, limiting yourself, having like limiting beliefs that are actively like just self-destructive, where you're not actually getting anything done because you don't even want to believe that you can get anything done. Be mindful of that. Okay. Try to do your best to empower yourself. Self-care also means caring for yourself, right? It's taking care of you, taking care of your mind, making sure that you're okay emotionally, that you're okay mentally, spiritually, and that your physical health is also okay. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Make sure that anything comes in, you have something to address it. You have some sort of practice to address it. Make sure you're staying hydrated throughout this period of time, because Mars is still in Cancer. Is really important for us to be watering and nurturing our dreams, not psyching ourselves out of our dreams during this period of time. Then we have the Six of Wands, and then the Gemini card. Are we surprised? I'm not surprised. Why? Because, like I said, Venus moving into Gemini. Gemini is a road opening sign. Aries is a road opening sign. So you have two road opening signs. Two. Which means that the energy is literally it's amazing. It's amazing to develop your dreams. It's amazing to get back on track with what you need to do. It's just amazing to really do a lot of manifestation. This is a great time for affirmations too. Okay, for Venus and Gemini. If you're not doing affirmations, what are you doing? If you're not doing chants and chant work, what are you doing? This is a great time to go into prayer. Okay, prayer. If you're not doing prayers, I don't know what you're doing. So this is a really great time to make sure that you have a consistent relationship with your spirits, that you are actively working one-on-one with your spirits, that you're communicating any type of thing. If you're feeling, oh my God, ancestors, I got a headache, or oh my God, ancestors, like I'm worried about this thing coming through, I really need this, or blah, blah, blah. Talk to your spirits. Talk to them. Okay. Talk to them like you would if you were talking to your very nurturing mother. Okay. And I know that not everybody has a nurturing mother or had a nurturing mother in your life, but this is a great time to, especially when it comes to working with your spirits, to process and understand that they're very nurturing and that they will help navigate, help you navigate through the energies as you are moving forward. So this is a perfect time for you to throw all your worries and your woes, all sit in the altar. If you need to cry at your altar, cry at your altar. That's another cleansing ritual and healing ritual right there as well. Let it, release it. Okay. Y'all don't know how many times I've just gone to the beach and had myself a nice crying session, because the ocean, it's the best place to do it in. It's a really important time to allow yourself to ebb and flow, but to also support yourself and allow yourself to have this powerful road opening that we're all collectively having. If you are actively trying to let yourself continue getting in your way, you're going to end up again, and I'm going to say this again for the 1,000th time, you're going to end up in Capricorn season being really mad at yourself for wasting your time, because that's what happens in Capricorn season. December ends up being a very depressed time because everybody's real mad. Okay, everybody's mad about what they coulda, woulda, shoulda, dida, woulda, right? And then once you get into January, everybody's like, oh, New Year's resolutions, even though that's not really the new year. The new year is always Aries season. But that energy of feeling like disappointed in the time that you spent is very Capricorn energy. And this is the time, because we're in the beginning of the astrological year, that is the perfect time to work on the things that you want to work on. This is the time to set the theme of what you want to work on for the year. And Jupiter's about to go into Taurus. So it is literally the time. It's literally the time to get it together and to focus on your goals and to really bring them to life and nurture them to life. If you want to get in your own way, again, you only have you to be mad at. You cannot be mad at your spirits, your ancestors, nobody, because if you end up blocking yourself, you're blocking yourself. So realize the really powerful road opening that's been in motion for the past couple of weeks, right? Accept the shift that is happening and try your best to empower yourself through this shift. Know that you can make it. Know that you can do it. Okay? Believe in yourself. Believe in your ancestors. Believe in spirit. Like, would you be in a situation of elevation if you couldn't handle it? Like, come on now. Like, you can handle it. You can absolutely handle it. We're already getting adjust behavior and communication. Adjust behavior and communication. When I said that affirmations, prayer, chanting work is the best thing to do during this Venus in Gemini transit, I'm not lying. It really is. Because anything that's getting in your own way, especially verbally, certain things that you might say or have the habit of saying or just putting out there that are getting in your own way, are not productive to your growth right now. So you might need to really have a conversation with yourself. You also, if you need to release something, if there's something that you are in progress of release and in progress of kind of shifting out of, this would be the time for you to, accept the fact that that needs to happen. We human beings, man, we love to hold on to things longer than they need to sometimes. We love to keep things and hold things on like very, very tight, and then we get frustrated when we don't see anything change or anything be different, but then we're still trying to hold on to certain moments that we're not going to be able to repeat. And so you have the choice of whether you want to move forward and elevate yourself and continue to grow and live out the dreams and the goals that you have for yourself, no matter how big or small they are. Or you can just stay where you're at and be miserable repeating the same day that you don't like. Okay. Then we have new beginnings and understanding. There will be a lot of mental breakthroughs. There will be a lot of clarification. If you've been waiting for some sort of answer or some sort of closure, this is a really great, like the Venus and Gemini, this is a really great time to seek that. Because again, it is a road opening time, which means that certain things are getting left behind in that last road you were walking through. We also have spirit vision and healing surround you, because there is also a lot of healing happening through this period of time as well. And this is why I'm saying make sure you're focusing on your mental health and make sure you're focusing on your self-care as well. And then we have the crow, help with the unexpected, because this is what I'm saying. Like, when in doubt, when in fear, when you're having a moment, just go to your altar. Go to your altar, talk to your ancestors, let them know how you're feeling. First of all, they already know how you're feeling, but you're going to just talk to them and tell them again how you're feeling. Okay. They're going to know, right? Because they see what you're going through, but just talk to them. It's so important to just be able to release something, especially when you're holding on to something up here. The mind can move so quickly, but when you're able to release it and just get it out from here, it can be so healing. So healing. Bottom of the deck is activity increases, which was literally the first card. It's the 8 of Wands energy. There's a lot of energy moving through. A lot of energy moving through. You would be surprised. You will be very, very surprised how quickly certain things just start opening, moving, shifting. Like, there's this, it feels like a lot, but and Gemini energy can be very overwhelming sometimes because it's a lot. It can just feel like being stuck in a it just almost in a tornado, but also in a rain cloud, but also in a regular cloud, and then also in like like a purple cloud. Like, there's so much at once. Like, it could be like one cloud is doing this, one cloud is doing that. Like, there could be so much going on, and then it can feel like heavy. Thank you, Pancho, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the love and supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. And for those who are again just joining, I have like TikTok is over here, Instagram is over there, and YouTube is over here. For those who are gonna want a replay of this live, I believe TikTok puts it Instagram puts it automatically in my page, so you guys can rewatch this. But YouTube will be also on YouTube as well. TikTok, you guys would have to go to my YouTube because it doesn't let you do replays on the channel for some reason. For some reason. Anyway, Archangel Michael, what do we need to know collectively? Okay, that was a lot of cards, but okay, we're gonna take them. It's time to leave an unhealthy situation. Okay, it's time to leave an unhealthy situation. Okay, so for those who are new here, y'all know I say this every week, but I done told y'all that the angels like to troll my readings every week. This is just a thing that occurs. So a lot of the time they will re-say everything that I just said, but in oracle form. So here we are. It's time to leave an unhealthy situation. Accept that the shift is happening. Just let it happen. We have you and your loved ones are safe, which is great if you've been doing protection work, and it's great if you've been, actively trying to just safeguard your space, your energy, your home. If there's been some chaos going on in your, maybe not super close to you, but it's almost like happening around you. There's definitely that energy of needing protection, wanting protection. This is a great week to also focus on protection work because Aries energy is warrior energy. Okay, so there's this energy of don't mess with me or we're going into battle type energy. There's a sense and need of protecting your energy in your space so you don't get distracted or disturbed from the task at hand. Like try to stay on course, but make sure that y'all are also actively praying for protection. Okay, make sure you're doing affirmations for protection. Make sure y'all are staying on top of your, work with protection. Like I always say, especially if you're someone who are just coming into your practice, what I recommend is healing and protection work first before you get into anything else, before you get into love, before you get into money workings, before you get into any of that. Y'all need to do healing and protection first, because you need to protect your energy so you can have a safe space in order for you to, do the healing that needs to be done so that you can start calling in your power, so you can start, centering and grounding yourself so you're not, getting tugged and pulled in so many directions because you haven't healed, and over here you're trying to do a love working that's not going to work because you didn't heal from the past relationship. So what do you mean? So that energy of needing healing, the energy of needing grounding, very, very important right now, and needing to feel safe, needing to feel like you are not, like your goals, your dreams, your vision is not going to be disturbed or disrupted or, like from others is BS, others drama. Like stay away from unnecessary, just unnecessary stuff. Like just stay away from it. It's not fun. It's not needed. It's not worth it at the end. Just stay away from it. If it's not going to be productive. Focus on divine and perfect health, because focus on your healing. And this is your life's purpose. What you're feeling very passionate about to accomplish and to do is definitely something that is tied with what you need to do in this lifetime and with what you need to do in your purpose. Anytime Aries season comes along, okay, it is a time that triggers our journey in a way that we feel like we have to get back on track. Like something about Aries season, because it's a new astrological year, it's spring, we're all trying to grow, the plants are growing, everything's growing. It's because of that. But this is like that time period where we're like, man, I would love to see this come to life. I would love to, bring this to life. I would love to do this. I would love to accomplish this. I would love to just see this project, this dream of mine. Like I have it in my head, but I would love to see it, come to pass. This is when that gets triggered because that's what Aries energy does. It rules the journey. right? Aries rules the first house in astrology, right? So when it comes to your first house requires you to show up in the world. Okay, it is literally the house of self. It is the house of also how other people see you, which means that you literally have to come out of your home. You have to show out in the universe. You have to come out and you have to be alive, right? You have to be present. You have to make effort. You have to communicate and do all of these things. And you go through the journey through the 12 houses, interacting with others and grounding yourself and working on all of the things that need to be worked on in that way. It's super important to, while there's this energy pushed into realigning ourselves with our journey, that you're not dismissing the work that needs to be done now, because it needs to be done. It's something that actively needs, you have to continue to put effort to in order to bring it to life. So keep in mind that if you're feeling very purposeful, or you keep getting, you keep, while there's other stuff going on in your life, you keep coming back to that thing that you need to do, it's because you need to do that thing. Okay, then we have positive thoughts create positive results, and this is what I'm saying. Affirmations. Okay, affirmations, chanting, prayer, really anytime you need to shift the energy, if you do so with your words, it will shift so fast. It will shift. Like, the power in Gemini energy is really, and especially when you're a Gemini, y'all know I'm a Gemini moon, but when the power of Gemini energy is really being able to sit with your mental power and just let it flow without doubt. Without doubt. Like, the power of Gemini energy is so powerful because once you like sit in your mind and you don't allow it to get in the way, what, it is so powerful, and there's nothing that's going to be able to take you out of that power. Think of it this way: when somebody has a very strong belief about something, right? And we're not going to get into politics, even though I do want to use politics as the example. Okay, when somebody really truly believes in something, right? They're putting all their effort, they're putting all their time, they're putting, like, they will argue with you about that thing. Like, you can't shake them about that thing. That thing is just, could do no wrong because they believe in it, because they believe what they believe, right? That feeling associates positive thoughts and positive, like, that belief, whether sometimes, and again, it can be used in toxic ways. Let's just keep it 100. But what these people that are actively, and when I say these people, we all do this. So, but the people who actively do this, that will just, you cannot budge them. They believe what they believe. You can't tell them no, because that's what their truth is. They will actively continue to fuel that throughout their lives. You can see this a lot when it comes to religion, right? And while, religious indoctrination is not the funnest thing in the world at all, there are, and I've said this before many times, there are some people that need religion or spirituality. I mean, usually it's like mostly everybody, but when I say, like, people need religion, I mean people need something to believe in outside of their physical realm experience. Because when it comes to wanting to be connected, there's this, it feels like very disconnected when we're trying to navigate the world, when we're trying to navigate our reality, our lives that are very mundane and very structured and very, like, post-colonial in nature. There's this need, or this want, or this yearning to come and connect to something that is almost unseen, like, in a very spiritual way. And so people fall into religious indoctrination, and you cannot tell them nothing wrong, nothing about nothing, because that's what they believe. That's what they are actively very passionate about. That's what they are connecting their own, like, vision of positivity and light and greatness and love, and they're connecting it to that one thing. You cannot shake them out of that, even if they're toxicity, even if you're like, hey, there's red flags here, or even if you're like, hey, that, like, they will be very, very determined to supporting that thing. Now, that happens in, again, spaces where we get religiously indoctrinated to certain things that are not necessarily the best. But this is how trauma is also created when it comes to like different generations and how they feel about religious indoctrination. Because not everybody is going to, you know, feel like the same as their parents did when their parents were very much like this is the thing, you can't fight me about this thing, this is the belief about this thing. Like, you're not going to fight your parents about that. But are you going to feel the same way? Is that something that you feel like? No, you will have your own experience. And when it comes to the millennial generation and Gen Z, we've been killing religion for quite a minute now. We've been getting blamed for it for years. We don't have to talk about it, but it's something that has been actively happening because of a yearning to connect back to different spiritual practices, especially ancestral spiritual practices. That's been a calling for like a really, really, really long time for a lot of people. And then once you get into that belief of that person believing that their ancestral practice is the true practice, you're not going to be able to shake that about them either. They will end up becoming similar as their parents with how they defend their indoctrinized religion. But in a way where it's like, nah, you don't understand. You don't understand the truth, right? You don't understand what you're even looking at here. Like, you don't even, like, it just turns into a whole trippy kind of moment. But there is a positivity about it, even when it feels like, even if you think, oh, your parents are subscribed to a specific religion or thing that has been harmful and has contributed to, yes, that doesn't stop being true. But to them, there's this positivity to them that comes out of it, whether it's having that prayer or feeling like they're supported from the divine, feeling like their prayers are answered, feeling like, especially when they go to church, feeling like they have community, which is something that colonization literally stole from us. It stole us from community. It rebranded community as something else. It's a whole thing. But those moments of positivity, those moments where we're able to connect to our practice, connect to the things that we believe in, and fuel our energies and accept how we're feeling about them, and actually, you know, allowing them to be in our lives in a way that is healthy, in a way that is helping us. Because that's kind of the other thing about being in that kind of mindset, is you believe that it is actively helping you, even in moments that you are challenged, even in moments that you are frustrated or going through something. You're like, no, but I'm still supported. There will be a way out. I know this is going to resolve. Like, let's just keep it 100. Religious indoctrination is low-key witchcraft, but we don't gotta talk about that today. But it really be like that though. It really be like, you know, it's a very similar, like if you were to break down the comparisons, it's night and day. It's very night and day. It's just that there are certain words and things that they follow that we do differently, right? That we have a whole different a different system with, that we work with. And so it's important to have that connection of understanding mentally how you're connecting and how you are fueling into these things as well, especially when it comes to your mind, and especially when it comes to communicating with spirit, when it comes to communicating with your ancestors. It's like, if you're having doubts, okay, tell them what your doubts are, but also know that you're supported, know that you have that team there, know that everything's going to be okay at the end anyway. Know that it's going to work out for you. However else it needs to work out, however, you know, the way that it needs to go is how it will go. We're also getting you're on the right path. So it's like, it's our journey. It is what we make it at the end of the day. But there's aspects of our journey where we can get in our own way. There's aspects of our journey where we can psych ourselves out from like doing what we need to do. And then there's a part of us that needs to maintain that hope, needs to maintain that, you know, romanticizing our vision and thinking about it, breathing it, like really talking about, like, man, I will sit and I will talk to my ancestors every day about my goals and the things that, you know, I personally I'm working to bring into life. And is one of the things that I feel like takes the pressure off my shoulders. especially as a Capricorn, because we can be like really hard on ourselves sometimes. And for me, my thing is and it's kind of contradictory to my Capricorn energy sometimes, but for me, time management is one of the things that I have like the biggest opportunity, which is why your girl got a planner. But I have so many, having a Gemini moon, being a Capricorn, a mess, a mess sometimes, because it really comes down to time management. There will be so many different things that spirit wants me to work on. Like, y'all don't even know all of the projects that I'm working on. Y'all don't even know. Okay, y'all don't even know. But it's easy for me to be like, okay, I can handle this. I can take this on and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, I'm like halfway overwhelmed with all of the things that I got to work on. And I'm like, okay, I need to do this. I need to also do that. I got to do this. I also got to work on this reading. And then I have to send it to this person. And then I got to do this. And then I got to do that. And then all of a sudden I'm like multi-managing all of this other stuff. It can feel like I'm doing so much, but it's chaotic as hell. It is chaos. Because having that Gemini moon, if I didn't have a Gemini moon and I was like a whole different moon sign, working through my Capricorn energy would be so much smoother. But my Gemini moon ends up making it a little bit more chaotic, because there's times where I'm gonna intuitively do stuff in the moment. Like I'll be cooking or something, like I'll just be making breakfast, and then spirit will be like, this blah blah, you have to make this video for like whether it's YouTube or TikTok or whatever, because most of my content is very like spiritually guided. Like I get the ideas for my YouTube and all that stuff. When they want me to talk, when spirit says you need to talk about this on a video or whatever, that's when I talk about it. That's when, this is why it's funny, because you guys always be commenting saying, oh my god, this is like perfect timing or synchronicity or whatnot. Yeah, it's a synchronicity, because spirit said stop what you're doing and go film this video. And that can be chaotic sometimes, because I'm over here trying to cook something and I'm like, oh my god, I have to go work on this later. So I'll write it down and I'm trying to like organize all of these different things that spirit wants me to work on, but it can get overwhelming. So sometimes I'll just go to my altar and I'm like, y'all, okay, I know that y'all want me to do all this stuff. Okay, I'm working on it. It's in progress. But it's like the Gemini energy makes me work on things a little bit at a time, instead of how I would usually work on it as a Capricorn, which is focusing my whole time on that thing until I finish it. No, my Gemini moon be like, pause. So this is the idea. This is the concept, but you also have to do this now. So go do that, but you have to come back to this and work on that when you can. So it'd be a conundrum. It'd be a conundrum, but it's still like, I understand, one, I'm on the right path. I know what I'm doing. I know what I need to do. I know, right? This is your life purpose. First of all, I've told y'all millions of times, these readings are not only for y'all, because I am part of the collective as well. So don't think that I don't get messages in these readings as well. But it'd be like that sometimes, where you will look at the energy and you will look at what's going on and you will look at the messages and you're like, okay, I get that. I got that message too. Thanks. I'm working on it later. I have like so many things that I need to do. But y'all, I promise y'all, when they all come out and when they all, have their moment, we're all going to be happy. So there's that. But it's a process. It is a process. You have to know your process. You have to not psych yourself out through the process. If I spent half my time being like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know. Then I would never get anything done. Like spirit says do something and I'm like, okay, gotta go do that. I gotta go film that. I just say okay and do it. Don't limit yourself in that way, where you're just like psyching yourself out and thinking, oh, I can't do this. You can do it. You totally can do it. You totally can do it. And because it's Aries season and the Venus is about to go into Gemini, trust and believe, once you decide to do something, you might notice how quickly things are moving once you start doing that thing. It might feel a little bit more grounded. It might feel a little bit more potent. It might feel a little bit more like, oh my God, I didn't know. Like, let's say you started writing a book or something. You might literally finish that book in a week. I'm not even going to lie to you. The reason being, it's just the energy is too quick. Air and fire are the fastest moving energies, like air being the fastest, but air and fire are the fastest moving. They don't really live for patience, okay, as the earth signs do. So there's this energy of like, once you're in that moment in the zone, it's just flowing out, and it's just coming out, it's just coming out. So it's like, if you have a creative project that you've been like, let's say you've been having like writer's block or something, this is the time to just say, okay, how do I need to write this? Or go to your ancestors, go to your altar. How do I need to communicate this? How is it that it needs to be said? How does it need to be written? How does it need to be received? Okay, if you're doing something that it's for others, and just allow yourself to let it flow. Let it flow. Vent what you need to vent, but let it flow. Let it flow, y'all. Go with the flow. I know that society got us stuck in this kind of system where we have to be in the structured kind of like way, and I get it, okay, as a Capricorn. But one of the things that I will say, as far as being a Capricorn, is really annoying that, you know, we get so associated to career, work, business, government. I mean, okay, government, all of these things, right? But indigenously, let's keep it 100. If you look at so many different things and the power of Capricorn as a sign when it comes to the collective, we are always serving the collective in some way. The way Capricorn energy has manifested throughout time, and like people who have been Capricorns, we're always impacting the public in some sort of way. Like from creating the light bulb, right? Okay. To creating, like, if you're looking at the United States, it's crazy to me. The trifecta. This is what I call the trifecta, right? So Hamilton, right, and we all know because we watched the damn freaking show. Hamilton created the banking system in the United States. He's a Capricorn, right? Then Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's also a Capricorn, goes and writes a musical about the man just before Hamilton was about to get taken off the $10 bill. It became so popular that they ended up keeping Hamilton on the $10 bill. But it's a Capricorn who basically made another Capricorn more famous. Like, y'all, but this is kind of the thing that people don't understand about Capricorn energy. It's like it benefited everybody. It benefited everybody, right? And even if you look at Lin-Manuel Miranda's like musical, there's so many freaking people that now know U.S. history way better than they did before. Let's just keep it 100. Let's just keep it 100. Let's just keep it 100. When it came to the education system, there were so many schools that put the play in production. So many schools that were using the entire musical as a reference to teach history. Like the way that we as Capricorns, we impact the collective in a way that is memorable, in a way that is long lasting, and in a way that actually, you know, creates some sort of change or stability. Like if you're looking at it through like a uncolonized kind of perspective, indigenously, we would have been the ones creating how the community was going to sustain itself, whether it's like the houses or based on, we would have been the ones kind of putting stuff together as far as like, oh, we need to go and fish for food. We would have been the ones designing the boat, the canoe, whatever it was. We would have literally been the ones saying, okay, this is the problem. Here, let me think of the solution. Because I swear to God, if you ever have some sort of problem where you're not finding a solution about something, you got to find yourself a Capricorn or a Scorpio, okay? A Capricorn, a Scorpio, an earth sign generally. But be mindful with Virgos because they will judge you for even being stuck in the thing, because they're going to be like, why, this is the solution. What are you doing? But any earth sign, okay, is going to be like, but this is what you need to do. Like, okay, this is the problem. And you know, this is one of the things that really gets me mad is People that like to sulk and not do anything about where they're at. Because as a Capricorn, we're so like, okay, so that's the problem. That's how we're feeling. What are we going to do about it? That's the cardinal energy. And it really comes out. It really comes out. And the only ones that can relate to this is Aries, Cancer, and Libra, because we're all cardinal signs. If you bring a problem, it's like, okay, this is the problem. Okay, I'm so mad about this problem. Oh my God, but then I was like, oh, what are we doing about it? What's gonna happen? What can we do? What is the next move? How we're gonna move forward from this? How can we fix the thing? How can we, we're always trying to address the thing. But in modern times, everybody's just like, oh, they're work crazy. Okay. Or, oh my God, they just care so much about this and that. Yeah, like even if you look at Jeff Bezos, as much as of an a-hole that man is, Amazon is pretty legendary as a like shop kind of marketplace, right? He created a website that is a go-to for people to shop for almost anything. We do things that benefit a lot of people. We see things as a solution to a lot of people, not singularly. Aries is a singular sign, and we've talked about this a lot. Aries is about your self journey. And while Aries and Capricorn are very similar signs, like we're both like, we goats, they're rams, we be up in the mountains, okay? Like we very similar signs, but Aries focus on the self. Capricorn focuses on long-term investment, on how this is going to impact more than just us in many ways, but how it's going to impact the collective. Even when you look at Capricorns in music, what? Can we just talk about John Legend for a second? The man is iconic. The man is legendary, literally legendary. We're still mad about R. Kelly though. I'm still mad about R. Kelly. Homeboy got like the same birthday as me, and I'm still mad at him for all he's done. But that's on reputation and moving from a low vibrational Capricorn BS. But we don't talk about him. We don't talk about him. But there's so many iconic Capricorns who have created and assisted and done so much to impact the collective in a way that we all collectively benefit. Like we're not all just, yeah, you think we're a workaholic, but you are benefiting from a lot of the stuff that we're working on because other people don't want to put the effort into working on it. But let's just keep it 100. There are systems, even in work, right? There are certain jobs that I've had previously that I ended up changing the whole system of how something was done in the day, which ended up helping the whole workflow completely. It just shifted the whole workflow. And it was like, oh, this is better. This is a better way of doing it. And all of a sudden, everybody just wanted to follow that system because it's a better way of doing it. We are solution-based. So when we get into Capricorn season, after setting all these intentions in Aries season, when we get into Capricorn season and we didn't do jack with that time, we get pretty down on ourselves. This is why December can be very depressing. Okay, so it's important to look at how you're investing your time, what you're doing, what you're bringing to the table, what you need to do, what your vision is, and how it needs to, come to life. What about it needs to come to life? That is the goal. That is the goal. Do not get in your own way. This is a time for you to really sit with yourself, empower yourself, because this is the beginning of the year. So don't get in your own way, or else December is going to literally be hell. For me, I never have a bad December because I look forward to my Capricorn season is a fun time for me. But I watch everybody else be hella depressed, and I'm just like, okay, why are you so upset? Because I really wanted to do this, and like I kind of put it off and I didn't get to work on it. Okay, well, there's your answer. And then comes the moment where, especially if you ask the Capricorn for advice and then you didn't actually listen, and then we have to tell you, I told you so. Because we definitely told you. And you didn't listen. So here we are. Like, your time it's all about having that awareness of time. How are you going to spend it? How are you using it? How are you working with it? What is it that you're doing? What are you bringing to the table? What do you need to do? Okay. Accept that you're on the right path too. And also, you're constantly co-creating. You're constantly directing your path. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay. Y'all, come on now. We really got the courage card. We really, 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 really got the courage card. Am I surprised? No, because that's been a huge theme for this reading. It's like, as the shift happens, you need to like have the courage to actually see it through. You have to. If you don't, you're just going to be mad at yourself later. And we're not trying to have a midlife crisis, honestly. There's been like that trend on TikTok that's been that video that came on my page that was like, are millennials even having a midlife crisis? And everybody's like, no, not right now, because everything's just kind of shitty in some aspects, and it's just no. Like the way we're just, you know, doing what we need to, the way, no. Release, especially as the shift happens. It's just so important. Bottom of the deck is good fortune. I'm telling y'all, Jupiter and Taurus is gonna be something. It's gonna be something, but I will reiterate what I said in my Jupiter and Taurus video. Make sure that y'all are stocking up on food and water. Not to, again, fear monger or anything, but Taurus is a sign that's connected. It's an earth sign, so it's very much connected to the earth itself. So you might see some, you know, especially with Uranus being Taurus, we talked about this a bunch. You might see some issues with climate change. You might see some issues with, you know, certain financial institutions that just want to hog money and not pay attention to the people. And so certain things will be going wrong. So you want to make sure that you have some sort of something to take care of yourselves, because certain things are not correct. They need to be grounded. Like we as a society, a community, need to be more grounded. But it has not been. There's been a lot of issues with the water crisis and everything. So make sure that you guys are paying attention to, you know, what's going on, but also make sure that you have some supplies to take care of yourself if shit happens to hit the fan, because you don't want to be in a situation where something gets worse or something happens out of the blue. Jupiter is an expansive planet. Yes, it is a lucky planet. Yes, it is, you know, it's a powerful planet for expansion, luck, abundance, opportunity, but it also expands negative things. It expands positive and negative things. So in Taurus, while Uranus is in Taurus, a planet of chaos, expect some chaos. Expect some things to not necessarily go correct or right. Expect some things. Okay, so please make sure you have something to set aside to take care of yourself when something goes down. But focus on releasing and focus on building your courage. It is time to let go of that fear, 1000%. Anyway, my loves, that was the weekly healing circle. I am so grateful that you guys are all here. Thank you guys for being here, partaking in all of the things. I'm currently having a solar eclipse sale, by the way. So using the code solar eclipse 33, you get 33% off all of my services until the 20th, which is when the solar eclipse will be happening. And definitely make sure you check my link tree for all of the stuff. I'm going to be posting like the updates as well soon. If you're on any other platform, Instagram and TikTok, make sure you're following me on YouTube, because that is my main platform anyway. That's where I post the mostest. And that's where I do most of my educational content as well. So if you want to learn more or whatnot, make sure that you are subscribed over there. Anyway, I love you guys. I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all have a very blessed night. Now I gotta close all the screens like one after the other. Have a good night, y'all. Bye, y'all. Have a good night. I gotta go check on the kitty. Oh, I will be showing y'all the kitty soon. I promise. She's getting, she's teeny weeny. She has to grow a little bit. She has to grow a little bit.